We've been talking about National Capital Fit Day with Jean-Luc Boissonneau from Freeform Fitness. We're gearing up to that day, which is June the 16th. However, you have a large presence in social media, on Twitter and on Facebook, and so you put out the question as to what people wanted to see you doing today, and it came back that they wanted work on the legs, so the hand, like the thighs, the glutes.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, I am still, I'm still feeling it from a couple of minutes ago when we did that little circuit. Yes.
Well, now we're going to talk about the glutes.
All right.
And something that's unique, actually, when you talk about, you know, when girls typically say, oh, the legs and the glutes, a lot of times they mean they want to lose fat in that area. So it's not necessarily that they want to work that area. And
no, let's be realistic. We want it leaner.
Yeah.
And especially too on the inner thigh.
Yeah. So
you know, when you're walking and you don't want the legs, you don't want to feel yourself hitting the other leg.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Am I right? Okay.
You're right. So the legs have a lot of estrogen receptors, and that's why women tend to hold in their legs versus men holding more in their belly. So there's a lot of you know, xenoestrogens in the air and that we consume and things like that that aren't really healthy for us. And so by just eating foods that avoid things like putting plastics in the microwave and things like that, that creates xenoestrogens. So if you hold in your legs,
there's a scientific help for us.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right.
Okay.
So avoid heating up plastics and things like that. Consume a lot of broccoli, because there's an ingredient in broccoli that helps basically detoxify those receptors for estrogen. So broccoli, eat a lot of broccoli, watch your diet, and you'll lose. But now we're going to talk shaping the butt. Okay, and here's the thing that isn't talked about, is pretty unique, is a lot of women, you know, will overdevelop the upper glutes and underdevelop the lower glutes. So when you look at the glutes, you don't want to have a big V-shaped glute. You want it to be more of an A shape, right? So it goes like that, as opposed to really all the muscle being at the top.
Right, you want it.
Yeah, a little more like this. So what happens is, if you overwork the gluteus medius, which is the top of the glutes here.
So what exercise would people be doing to overwork that?
So to overwork that would be any kind of abduction or hyperextension, going up all the way past behind, you know, and if you're genetically prone, if your posture is prone to building,
like right there,
you're going to be building that up. So the exercises that aren't going to build that up and are going to focus on the lower glutes are going to be hip extension exercises. So I'll show you a hip extension exercise that you can do. So you just basically do a plank like this, okay? And you're going to make sure that this leg is at 90 degrees. You're going to straighten that leg, and you're going to go up and squeeze. And that's a really, you know, easy hip extension movement. And I do a small hold at the top. And the glute maximus is actually surprisingly a slow twitch fiber, which means you can do a lot more reps with it and you're going to respond better. Another way, so if that's too easy for you, is you can put this on your leg. It's a small band. You can get this at Fitness Depot. And then you put this one in here like this. I have hair, so this may hurt. Okay, so you're gonna go like this, put that on here, same position, but now you're gonna go up like this and really feel that resistance. If
now,
I want.
Okay, question. So now, can you go up? Go up. Now, would you, sometimes you get to this position, would you do extra ones going up, or no, that's gonna be working too far up?
Yeah, you could do that,
don't need to.
But you don't need to. Another way you could do it is really to hit peak contraction, is to move your knee, instead of it being at 90 degrees, it's really hard, I have that dance, is to move this, as opposed to it being at 90 degrees, you're moving it inwards, and then you're able to go up, but you're not able to go down as far. So you're gonna get more of a peak contraction when you bring that knee forward. Okay?
Yeah.
So any extension of the hip, whether it's a lunge, is also great. You're going to be working that gluteus maximus.
But if you're finding that you've been thinking that you've been working, you know, the backside, and then you realize that it's not shaping, you're probably doing more emphasis on one area and not balancing it out. So
Absolutely.
You're doing the top part, make sure that you're actually getting the bottom part in there as well.
and if it's really a dominant muscle, I'd avoid the hip abduction, the hip hyperextension, and external rotation.
And then increase the broccoli intake.
Increase broccoli. Make sure make sure you're lowering your carbohydrates. As a general rule, that's what's going to help.
And then the plastics in the microwave. There's just something that's connected.
Create estrogens. Yeah.
Really?
That when I say xenoestrogen, it means it's unnatural to the body. It's not the same as the estrogen we produce.
Well, there's so many different factors. Great information. Thank you so much. Of course, there's the National Capital Fit Day. You learn things like this when you attend events like that, and that's happening June 16th at the new CE Center. I know that's building up. 3 years from now, we'll have the whole city on shutdown for you, all right, Chelsea?
We have to do it.
Okay.
Got to make it happen.
Say hi to Chelsea and for the baby.
Thank
Life
you.
is pretty busy for you guys. We're going to take a commercial break. We still have more to come from Julie Blake-Como, our etiquette expert. We're back after this.